Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Will there be baseball? Not with Derek Jeter involved. He's out. Let's talk about it. You're going to go high or low?
It's been high all day. I think it's going to drop.
Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Hang with us as we wait out to see what the audio is going to do. My name's Jimmy. Jake's here. BBD behind the dish. And Trevor Plouffe in California on the eve of the deadline that one side says is real and the other side says is fake. And we will find out if there won't be baseball or if there won't be baseball. Exciting times. Trev, how are you? We're still waiting? Quiet?
You call my name?
Are we really quiet?
No, you're good.
Yeah. How are you, Trev?
What's up, guys? Everybody. I feel like I've been gone for quite a bit. I missed the last episode. You guys had who? Passon and who else on?
Happer.
Our beat reporter,
Happer?
Ian Happ.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beat reporter, a good golfer. And we decided, guys, to clear up the wine situation between him and I. It's hard to send a bottle of wine, just so you know. We're going to do it in Arizona together.
Ooh.
We're going to share it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm good. I had a nice little jaunt to Cabo, where, you know, it was good times, quick, in and out. That's how you got to do a situation like that. But I'm back now, ready to talk about Jeets. I have some real strong thoughts on this.
Wow.
And then obviously we're the number one labor pod that's ever existed. So, Ronald, Story Alley, how you doing, buddy?
Trevor, James, BBD, everyone live in the chat, even the audio monster that BBD crushed today. I'm doing well. I went to the Cabo of the States, Coral Gables, Florida. My sweet Jessica, after her first Northeast winter last year, has been living in fear of the Northeast winter. So we got her down to a pool for the weekend. That was nice. Guy in front of me on the plane was a fan. Not a big deal. You know how it goes. And then, yeah, you know, Trev.
He reclined your seat? He reclined a seat on you?
He did not. He would have been right in front of me. I was sitting in the wrong seat. I did the classic, is F the end or the window? So then I got moved. I was really high, and that was a good time. No, everyone was friendly. And then the neighbors, because we talked during that exchange, those people in my lane, they tried to talk to me a couple times in the flight, and I was still really high, and I can't hear a thing. So couple tough exchange, to be completely honest.
Can you hear anything on planes?
Nothing. Especially I put the headphones in, so I'm like gone. I'm on another planet on airplanes, especially when I take my medicine as well. Flying's a blast. I get scared. I'm doing well, Trev. I'm doing well. And, dude, I had a couple thoughts today where I was missing you. I forgot you missed Wednesday's episode, so that makes sense a little more. But we did have our beat reporters call in. And then, dude, I had another sad showy thought where I was like...
Showy thought.
I should be seeing you basically every day at this point of the year. We should be doing TPPs. We should, I should be getting my 10 milligrams of Trev, you know, at least every other day, and we don't have that, and I hate it. I hate it. But here we are. The boys are here on the precipice of what's going to be a new dawn of baseball. Is that what you said this morning, Jim, or did you say showy?
It's a new day. Yeah, there's going to be no baseball. I don't know why everyone's acting like there might be baseball. Trev, should there be any optimism?
For what? A deal today? No.
For starting the season on time. Like, there's some people that are that's still a possibility for them.
I don't think so. I got to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to start on time. That doesn't mean we're not going to get a full season. And I think that needs to be talked about. The owners can't just say, hey, we're only going to play 150 games this year or 100 games this year. They can't just say that. That's something that has to be jointly agreed upon. Now, can they cancel opening day games? Sure. It's a lockout. So without an agreement, the days of the season can go away, but the games are still there and they'll have to be negotiated in. So we'll see how that goes. it seems like this has been their plan all along. We've talked about this, bro. But put what is the expression? I always forget expressions. Put the feet to the coals or something like that.
Burn yourself, I think.
Something like that. But they're trying to force this artificial deadline. And, if you start missing days and you're going to start missing games, obviously there's players whose salaries are going to be prorated. And that sucks. And that's what they're banking on, those guys being like, hey, like, what about me? Here's my window. And I don't think that's going to happen. It seems like the players are dug in right now because in their mind, they haven't had a good faith negotiation, not even like once this entire time.
Yeah, I don't know how deep we want to get into it, but like they offered less than inflation, which is crazy, Trev.
Dude, you know what? Like flies under the radar is they're actively negotiating and using the term service time manipulation. Like they're saying, yeah, like obviously we're manipulating this and we're causing us to have more control over you. Like we're doing a wrong thing. And they're trying, the Players Association is like, can we just like have you guys not manipulate us? And the owners have said basically no, like we are going to continue to do that. And like that stuff like that it's a tough pill to swallow. And I think we've seen all around now, like, and I was not expecting this at all. But the beat writers have come out in full force. We're talking Kenny R, Jeffy Pass, and a host of other dudes coming out strong against the owner side, calling out, the bullshit. It's hard not to at this point.
It's a weird, because everyone you talk to, they say that legitimately the only pressure that the owners feel is from the media, which you wonder how deep that goes. We've talked about the duality of missing games, how the owners feel like that's how they can apply pressure to the players. That's how the players feel they can apply pressure to the owners. And man, I don't know, after seeing, Ken Rosenthal, hey, my guy, you let the tiger out of the cage, Rob, and that's what you get. You're going to get scars all over you from Kenny ripping you up. Awesome article from Ken Rosenthal. And then Jeff Passan, our guy, laid it out there this morning.
Free and unlocked.
Yeah, free and unlocked.
Passan went off this morning?
I got a lot of content like that. Yeah, Jim, I can read you verbatim if you want. Jeff Passan with his article that is free and unlocked at ESPN. MLB did this. The owner's arrogance, the mistreatment of players. As the league threatens to turn its lockout into a canceled opening day, the story of something so very avoidable grew into Rob Manfred's disastrous outcome.
I like that they're fucking going after Manfred. Obviously, like he works for the owners, but that Manfred doesn't want to be remembered as a terrible commissioner. Like that's tough. At some point, like it's like the media is like bullying him into like defying his bosses. It's like
he's essentially the messenger. Like
yeah, but he's the awful messenger.
It's a bad messenger, but that's what he is. Which is weird that the steward of our game is a messenger of the owners.
It's funny that they're going in on him because, like, he's every time he gets on a mic, he's just so bad.
Every commissioner that's commissioned baseball is in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's where Bob's heading.
I'd put him in. Biggest asterisk you could find. Just bigger than his bust. Just a big old asterisk right there. And then under it just says, not really, just kidding.
Don't say bigger than his bust this early, this close to the Miami trip.
Oh, man. Yeah, we talked about it. I asked Passan what he thought about it. Trevor May talked about it on the Rose rotation. The owners find out the end of that sentence after this short break. Whoa.
DraftKings, place a bet.
I'm gonna read this one verbatim.
Okay.
When Covington and Masvidal step into the octagon this Saturday at UFC 272, DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC, has a knockout offer for new customers. Bet just $1 on the main event and get $100 in free bets no matter what. Holy smokes, it's a whole new read. They got words in different.
It's a big UFC fight.
They got
this
words
weekend.
in different
It is
places.
a big fight. I'm gonna bet it.
It's a big disclaimer. I personally had to make it a little smaller, so that would account for the words being in different spots.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code JOHNBOY. Throw down just $1 on the UFC 272 main event and get $100 in free bets no matter the outcome. That's code JOHNBOY this Saturday at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. 21 plus. Restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Okay. We got a big-ass disclaimer here. I've never read this before. Get the timer ready. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Wyoming, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, AZ, 1-800-522-4700, Colorado, New Hampshire, 888-789-7777. Visit http://ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut, 1-800-BETS-OFF. IA is at Indiana, 187
The guy
Iowa 1-877-770 STOP 7869 LA 8778 Hope NY. Text Hope NY 467-369 NY. Visit is this real?
It's
I have
real.
to read this. Visit opgr.org. Oregon. Call text Tennessee Redline. What? TN Redline. 1-800-889-9789 TN or 1-888-532-3500 Virginia. 21 plus, 18 plus, New Hampshire, Wyoming, physically present in Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming, only. Only. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/details. That can't be real. I can't have to read all that.
122.53.
Oh, that's at a certain point you put the stopwatch down.
You must
I was at
include
least
the
stop
below
timing,
disclaimer
yeah.
in the show notes section.
That's tough.
That's a.
It's an important thing to give people.
I don't think
the
I have to read
information,
that.
though. Holy.
I think I say restrictions apply show notes for details, and then we put those in the show notes.
Is that in the the bio, the description, maybe?
Yeah, it's about to be.
I don't know, man. I don't know if we have to read all that.
That felt like
If we have to read all that every time,
because you got
nuts.
out of the box good, and like it was going. You thought you might have to beat out a double,
It's
and then the
true.
right
Yeah.
fielder tripped,
Yeah.
and then you saw it, and you start going for third, and then that hammy started acting.
Yeah.
And then you
Oh,
rounded
the
third.
feet got a little too fast.
By
for
the end, I was
body there.
crawling.
You were Rosarena.
Yeah. I was
Third base to home. You
I
got
was
Randy
crawling
on
at the
us.
end. What the hell? All right.
That was hot. What was your sentence you were finishing again?
Who cares at this point?
This is a good point from. If you have to read this, who did this? Corbin in the chat. You should record it regular voice, have someone speed it up, and then
Speed
just
up.
press a button on the soundboard. Boom.
Spit it up.
It just changes.
Yeah, I don't think I have to read all that. We'll double
I don't
check.
think so.
Double check.
I don't think I have to do that. I have no idea what I was going to say. I mean, does anyone remember the
You said
sentence?
something about the owners. Tough to say. Tough to say. What else are you thinking about?
Yeah. What do you? I think we're talking labor here, James.
Yeah, something about all of that.
Birth.
Oh, we asked Trevor May, and Trevor May said on the Rose rotation, the owners have a number. They have like 100 games. They don't care. They'll play 100 games, break even on the playoffs, and then whatever deal they sign that includes expanded playoffs, because the players are like, we're not doing expanded playoffs if we don't start on time. And the owner's like, okay, but that's just this year. We'll sign a CBA that has the next 4 years. We get our expanded playoffs, and then crunch time. Okay, 4 years of full seasons plus expanded playoffs will end 100 games with regular playoffs this year, but then the 4 with expanded, we're still making more money by missing 60 games this year. I mean, that's the equation I think in the owner's head. They're stalling. You don't offer a salary luxury tax threshold that increases less than natural inflation. You don't offer that if you want to start playing baseball games. I mean, it's like as clear as day that they're just bullshit offer, knowing that won't happen. I mean, also, this is the deadline and blah, 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 blah. Bullshit offer, knowing it won't happen. And then, I mean, what's the day? I think if it's 100 games or 120 games, we will do it. Like, just like in 2020, it was 60 games the entire time, and everyone knew it, and the MLB just stalled and made bullshit offer. And then when it came time for like, okay, we're at the 60-game marks, they were like, all right, we got it. So
you're exactly right. I mean, they got a taste for it in 2020. They played 60 games, got expanded playoffs, and they were like, this tastes good to us. Like, how could we do this again? Oh, we have the CBA agreement that we have to come to. Okay, we can just lock the players out and do this whole thing again. And it really seems like that's just been the plan. And that's really disheartening. Like, if this was just like negotiations gone wrong and both sides were going back and forth, they're like, dang, we just can't find a middle ground. Like, that's bad, but at least like we're trying. This has been the plan to not try. And I don't know. I mean, if it's 100 games, I'll be so mad. I'll be so mad. But again, remember, that has to be agreed upon by the players. But if they do stall enough, there won't be enough time to play these games.
Right.
So, I mean, it's essentially what they're working for.
That's an important part, Trev, that, again, and I think you're going to see a lot of beat reporters tweeting this in the next couple of days, and they kind of already have, is that, you know, when MLB says that they will cancel opening day probably at the end of today, although there's a couple weird optimistic twists I can throw in after this. No, probably later in the episode. But you're right, Trev. Like, both sides need to agree on the amount of games played. So when we talk about canceling games, that's where things get tricky. And you're right. I mean, there's obviously a time equation to that. But that's where I've been cracking up. Rob Manfred, he's a master negotiator. This is why he got hired for the gig. Rob Manfred.
Don't call him a master negotiator. Stop. I don't want that. He doesn't get that title.
Trev, you might want to let me finish the statement.
He's a negotiator.
You know, he worked in labor and employment law before Major League Baseball. This is in the mid-'80s. He first gets involved in Major League Baseball, 87. He's a big part of the strike, 94, 95, and he's been involved with MLB since. He gets the commissioner gig over Tom Werner in 2014. A little history coming at you fast. I'd like to have Tom Werner in there right now, wouldn't you? Anyways, we've seen Rob Manfred's master negotiation style. It's to not negotiate. I mean, it feels like something out of like a horrible movie or something. Rob Manfred, we saw this during the COVID times. MLB provided 3 offers, then when you put them down on paper, same tree offers. Rob Manfred, they said that they had urgency to get this done and how atrocious it would be for baseball if there was no deal. This was before they went on their 42-day hiatus of talking. We saw this week, they started meeting at 1 p.m. and the meetings wrapped up around 4. Joe's McFly was giggling his ass off, and I was right there with him because he goes, hey, if you really wanted to get something done, you wouldn't meet at like 9 a.m., maybe 10. You could still get your coffee and meet on time. And then this weekend, they started meeting earlier, and they started meeting for longer. Their negotiation tactic is to not negotiate, which has gotten us to this magnificent point where, guess what? If the ball drops today, which I think if we all had money on it, it easily would, that the tweet's going to come out tonight, that there will be no opening day, and however that comes out, I mean, that's why we got here, by not negotiating. That was the expert negotiating tactic that we've gotten from his 40 years of experience as a master negotiator. So, yeah, man, it's a disaster. This is why you see Ken Rosenthal passing, everyone laying it on. And where do you think happens next? Like Jim said, I think that number does exist in the owner's head. Who knows if it's 100? It could be 60. That's the model we just saw in the COVID season, as long as they get their expanded playoffs. So, we've had a little bit of momentum. And I think that is true. The sides have been sitting down and talking for a week, which is good. And they keep checking off some little boxes. And the tweet that I cracked up at last night, talks were good today, nothing got done. Use that at your employer today. Would be fantastic. But when the ball really drops, we still haven't seen this get ugly. Because if today they say opening day's canceled, they're not meeting tomorrow. There won't be another scheduled meeting. And all will go quiet on the Western Front. So I think that's a pretty good summation of where I'm at. The not negotiating strategy, I don't think it's working. That's just me.
That is all I want them to do is act like they're in a litigation type movie where they sit in a room and you order Chinese food, but you don't put on a plate. You only eat it out of the box with chopsticks. You stand around all night. And then you got Cher from Clueless bringing you some papers and then noticing something was wrong. Like,
I think an alien just came through your
sound like
mic.
an alien.
I think you were just onto something and you got like infiltrated.
Yeah.
I think someone was just
like,
dude, I think you were just being silenced.
You got a little too close to the situation.
Or you put your phone on the receiver box or something. I don't know.
It sounds good now.
Sounds good now. But yeah, you got like Lilo and Stitched there.
I went from like Lincoln Lawyer to Clueless in one tangent. Pretty good.
So Trev, you've got them eating out of Chinese food out of the box, no plates, on the second floor below the rooftop gym?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they're in Florida now, so. Golf course lobby.
Or no, it's one of those hotels where everything's on the third floor.
Those are cool.
Pool, the meeting rooms.
So yeah, to be clear, they're not doing that. We want them to be eating Chinese food out of the carton with chopsticks and talking all night about the situation, but they're not. They're golfing.
And Hap said it's actually a pretty decent spread. So,
hey, I had this thought.
Oh,
Since we're in movies,
thought about this?
I haven't. No.
So Troy, the movie Troy.
Yeah. Is there no one else?
Let's just settle this. Like our two best warriors, your best versus my best. Like who would that be?
It's already happening. It's Tony Clark and Rob Manfred.
But like Rob Manfred's championing somebody else. He's not going out there. And Tony Clark, I think, maybe would raise his hand and say, I volunteer as tribute. And then the MLB's got to find a guy. And I don't know who they would pick. Chris Young, maybe.
Scherzer versus Manfred.
It'd be interesting to see.
Is this an actual fisticuffs?
No, it's a duel of wits.
Okay.
Ooh.
That changes my answers.
Yeah, that does change my answers too. I have it as like a Donnybrook, like anything goes.
So you have to get into MLB's head for this. So you have to think, okay, so it's got to be something kind of dated, and just something totally misled, and someone they think is just an American icon that represents the MLB. They would pick Kurt Angle, the old WWE wrestler that also won a gold medal, and probably hasn't fought anyone in 20 years. They think that would be a good fighter. And MLB or the players would select like one of the fielders, Prince or Cecil, and be a good fight.
We have A-Rod come. He's the biggest players
Don't rod me.
guy there is.
Speaking of Yankees,
Ooh.
do we want to wrap up this conversation about they're announcing it soon that they haven't come to an agreement?
What?
The final thoughts?
I guess my only spin was this deadline today is completely made up. Like it's somewhat ties into spring training time. Like we're 5 weeks out, 4.5 weeks out from the start, what would be the start of the regular season.
This deadline is a ploy.
Yes, and that's where I could I could see the optimistic spin would be at 8 p.m. today. We see a tweet that's like, they've extended the deadline 48 hours. Because, again, the deadline is fake.
It's so fake.
Absolutely, MLB is going to come out and say they extended the deadline because all they're trying to do is win the public right now with these moves. So,
is
like,
that working?
No, because that's why Rosenthal and Passan and all the journalists are coming so hard the other way because that's all they're trying to do is win the public. So when they only created this deadline so it looks like the players are missing it.
Right.
And now they're going to extend it so that third-party fans who aren't like informed just go, the owners are doing everything they can. They're extending it. That's all public moves. Like, you know, be like if we're trying to hire someone and be like, hey, you have to tomorrow to send over the offer. And by the way, here's the offer. It's $2 an hour, 70 hours a week. And then they're like, wait, hold up. Oh, too late.
Yep.
You missed the deadline. You're not hired.
Trev, you had a question? Your hand was up. Back up.
Now, I'm going to say my level of optimism is pretty low. Like I'm in the 20% range right now as far as this artificial deadline happening, and probably of a full season happening because I think MLB will just stall. My optimism, that's where I am at. And most of the people that I've talked to, that's kind of the gist that I've gotten. But there's a but. I talked to someone yesterday who's pretty close to, I would say, would be the owner's side. He was more optimistic. He said 60% optimistic.
60%
So,
of what again?
Full season being played.
Gotcha.
So there's that, you know. Maybe this public outcry, maybe all the bad press, maybe the Braves earning report coming out and showing insane amounts of profit. Maybe this is all going to make them say, you know what? We do got it pretty good. Let's keep having it pretty good. We'll move a little bit. But it doesn't seem to be that's the way they are attacking this.
No. The idea of the season starting on time isn't even in my head. I'm hoping they only miss April at this point. Just seems, if you like read any of like anything.
I know.
No, it might be a good bonding thing for these guys.
What's that? Shaving their pubes together?
Yep. Say, hey, before we start the meeting today, we've all got these Manscaped 4.0 trimmers. Let's all tighten it up. Let's tighten up this negotiation. Let's tighten up our downstairs.
They need that.
There's a lot of guys in that room that have not touched their downstairs in a long time. And if they did, it might be one of those, like, you look down and you see it and you're like, okay, a little extra to play with. Maybe we should bring that to the negotiating table.
And I think Manfred's one of those guys that not only would use the lawnmower 4.0.
Okay.
I'm sure he needs to clean up down there. We all do. But I think he also needs the nose hair trimmer, nose and ear trimmer. Like he's at that age where it's coming out of everywhere.
For sure he does.
Manscaped's got great.
So go ahead, Rob. Like clean yourself up.
I just bought
the next time you get on the mic.
I just bought another pack of boxers from Manscaped. Actually, I bought 3 packs.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. Jake got me a pair.
Can I have one? You always give them away.
No, I stopped giving them away because I needed new boxers. So now I'm just I revamped my whole I did a lot of shopping over the weekend.
What?
I bought
like just a bunch of hoodies, right?
No, hoodies are fine. I was sick of deciding on what boxers and pants and shirts to wear. So I bought 3 of the same pair of jeans that match the 1 pair I have right now. I bought a ton of Manscaped boxers, and I bought like a 7-pack of T-shirts because thinking about what to wear is the worst part of my day. I hate it. So if I can streamline that, so I finally did it. And Manscaped was a big part of it because the boxers are incredibly comfortable. They're BBD's favorite boxer.
Wearing them right now.
Yeah, same. 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. They also got that to clean your scalp, body wash, plus a free gift. A 3-pack set of the lip balm that's made up with ingredients such as vitamin E, peppermint, and eucalyptus oil to keep those chappers feeling moist.
I do really like the lip balm. Been using it.
Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code TALKIN at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code TALKIN at manscaped.com. Jeter steps down. How about that? Jeter no longer with the Marlins. We only have his statement. Marlins have a statement. It seems very much like this is just me inferring or conjecture or whatever the hell you want to talk about. Jeter signed up for the 5-year tanking rebuilding plan. They got rid of Stanton. They got rid of Yelich. They got rid of all their studs. And there's a 5-year plan, and they're about to start it. And maybe Jeter's like, let's go spend money now. And is it the guy who went in on it with him? I can't think of his name. Bruce or Sherman? I forget. Is saying, nah, we're still going to play at the fringes because this is actually working out pretty well for us. We made the playoffs in 2020. We're competitive, and the East looks good. Was it?
Bruce Sherman.
Oh, that's what I thought. I should have just rolled with it. Bruce Sherman. And Jeter is now saying, Jeter, one of the competitor guys, how Michael Jordan would make up fake enemies just to be competitive. Jeter has a lot of that in him. It's like, I'm out. I thought we were going to spend money and win now. That's at least what it seems on the outside.
I mean, with any of the information out there, yeah, that's pretty much the only conclusion you can draw. I think maybe there's more to it. I think that's a really not obviously, it's a tough job, but I think it's a lot also, every single day filling up your days. And maybe Jeets is saying, if we're not going to go for it now, I have built you something really nice here. We have some really affordable, controlled, young pitching, and now we can go and supplement our roster because that's what you told me we were going to do. If you're not going to do that, I'm not going to stick around any longer because this is a taxing job, and we all know Jeets does not have to be doing this. He could literally do. He is one of the people in the world that can do whatever he wants. Think about that. Jeter could go to space if he wants. Jeter could run for president if he wants. There are things this guy can do that normal people can't do. He could do nothing also because he's earned so much money in his career. So if he signed up to run a franchise and they gave him a plan, and then he sees they're at the precipice of winning, and all they have to do is go get talented pieces through free agency or through trades, and the ownership is saying, hey, we're just not going to spend money right now. We're going to continue to build our future. Jesus probably I'm over it. Why would I stay here? He's a winner. You set your clock to Derek Jeter wanting to win. Every single clip that's out there on Jeets is about him having the desire to win and win at all costs, essentially. So to me, this isn't surprising. Maybe it's out of nowhere because we didn't hear about it, but if you really read the situation now, and there's some quotes about Bruce Sherman saying we want to continue building for the future. It just makes sense that Jeets is I'm out, man.
It's funny. From our Twitter, we posted some of the players that tweeted stuff. Jason Castro, Trev's Jason Castro, tweeted out the respect, the captain, and then hashtag competitive integrity. That old hashtag that gets a lot of clicks. Yeah, man. I mean, our guy Miggy Rojas is out there saying he helped
also
me to
use
be
the word integrity.
Yeah. Well, Miggy Rojas, kind of everything integrity is implied.
He is integrity.
If you come without integrity to Miggy Rojas, you just turn into dust. Don't do it.
Can the cynic in me say something? Do all these players, what do they have in common? Are they all the same agent?
I just think kind of like what you were saying. I mean, Jeter's in a different world of baseball. Chris Rose on Baseball Today, when I filled in for Trevor when he was sucking down on farts in Acapulco or whatever, We talked about, if they NBA did their 75-year anniversary team and they brought out MJ at the end and it was like, whoa, like MJ's still MJ. Who is that for baseball? The two names that came up were Griffey and Jeter. So maybe there's a cynical connect the dot there. I don't know. Like Lindor, Rojas, Garver, and Castro seems like
it's coinciding with this whole labor negotiation.
Yes.
We're trying to curb tanking. And this is an example of a team rebuilding, which is already a tank effort, getting to the point and then not going for it, not spending money. This is at the root of, one of the core problems in the CBA that we had. And we're trying to make sure this doesn't happen all the time. And Jeets is like, he saw it happen in real time. He's out. He's a former player. It all is one thing. I think it's a black eye for the owner side right there. It really is. You had a guy on your side that is probably the most famous baseball player still, and now he's not.
We joked about it the other day. We said, like, where's Jeets in all this? Got to be kind of weird, right? And now we find out. And yeah, I guess that's what I'm interested to see the next steps are. Like Jeter, as Jim knows, Jeter stays out of the spotlight since baseball ended. He doesn't show up to Yankee reunion events and stuff like that. He's been running the Marlins kind of, like you said, like a real executive, like day in, day out, like grinding. I wonder if he like shows up for the players and if it is like
dude, bring him to the table, please.
Yeah, dude.
If he shows up today, they're in Florida. That's where he lives. Jeets, please, I'm pleading with you. Show up today. Like that would set the internet on fire. And then we can hold those feet to the fire. That's the saying. How about that? I remembered it 20 minutes later.
That's where you were trying to hold their feet to the fire?
Yeah. Jeets is the flame.
Not put your feet in the coals.
Oh, that was burn yourself.
Yeah, man.
Thought it was that.
Jeets' like level of respect throughout the game was already high. It's woof.
Come back to the Yankees. I wonder Posada's not going to stick around the Marlins now, right?
No.
Great. Let's get Posada with the Yankees.
Yeah.
Text Cashman right now. Go get Posada.
Light some fires.
How you feeling if you're the boys in Miami? Like they're still in good hands. Kim's there doing her thing, but like it's setting a tone that you're not going to be completely competitive. That's a horrible feeling.
Yeah,
you get to this point, you're like, hey, we can make a splash. Why can't we go out and get a Castellanos or a Correa or whatever? Why can't we do that? We don't really need Correa because our boy Miggy Rojas is there, but
when your CEO leaves the company because they say we're not going to compete, yeah, I think a team feels that. I think that resonates. Through a franchise, and it does suck. People have heard me say it a lot. Like I've wanted the Castellanos Miami thing. The way I like sports.
The way.
How about this?
That I like
How about
sports.
this? Who's an author? Who wants to publish it? The Way I Like Sports by Jake Storielli. Nick Castellanos is a Miami Marlins fan. A fan base that has been a laughing stock of baseball, which in itself is fucking ridiculous because the Miami community, they love baseball. They love baseball. Look at what Miami Heat games have turned into. Like there's Celebrity Row and all that stuff.
Does the Miami community love baseball?
Yes, the Cuban population.
The Cuban Miami
nuts?
community does, yes.
Taylor's sports to your city. You have Miami. Miami's known for like rich, ugly dudes. Like get them to the games. Like what are we doing? And if you have
they're tan though,
a good product, like why Nick Castellanos isn't the biggest win for the Miami Marlins franchise a guy who's, we heard him on the Chris Rose rotation. Dude's an awesome leader. By the way, he's an awesome hitter. What's this franchise been missing for 4, 5, 20 years now? Hitting. It's a joke. So, yeah, Jeets, babe.
I mean, look, they've been through hell. Like, I don't want to say hell. They've been through a lot as a Miami fan. You have Loria just, messing with you, makes you pay for the stadium, then sells for a massive profit. Then you go into this tanking thing. You trade your star, Giancarlo, your guy. See you later. You had Christian Yelich, Giancarlo Stanton, Marcelo Zuna, gone. And then you get a guy, you get Jeets, and then he hires Kim, and things are going good. You build your farm system up. You sign these pitchers to affordable deals. These guys are studs. You can make a splash. And then basically your owner says, nah, we're good. And then your superstar president or whatever Jeets' title was ups and leaves because he's a winner and doesn't want to be involved in your franchise.
It's bizarre. Jeter talked about wanting to own a team while he was still playing. They're like, what do you want to do in your post after you're done playing? He's like, I'd love to own a team. So to bow out of that must have really come to odds. Wonder what he does next. He's got 3 kids
I will say
now.
that he's got a lot of kids. They can still win. So Miami fans, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, this sucks. You guys still have the recipe to win games. Yeah, you need to add pieces, but maybe it still happens.
They traded for Joey Wendell, spikes in the shower, one of Jim's favorites. Jacob Stallings, Gold Glover at catcher. They signed Avisail Garcia. Jazz Chisholm on the way up. It's that division's tough. And yeah, they just need to supplement it just a little more to give themselves a real fighting chance. And I guess it seems like they won't do that. And I think a little bit full circle, Trev, you mentioned about the Miami community with this baseball team, how they made them pay for the stadium and now they're not willing to pay to put a winning product on the field. And all these comments we hear about, the Miami fan base, or maybe even the lazy comments that baseball's losing popularity. If you're a general Miami sports fan and you haven't put a winner on the field, and you had Jeffrey Lurie, who is looked at as one of the worst owners in sports history, and you had to pay for a stadium, and now you're getting nothing in return, why would you be a casual fan of that team? But that's why these baseball owners don't make any money owning a team. Not profitable.
Well, they're for sale all the time. It's wild. What if here's a hypothetical that might put you in a little pretzel here. What if they do go spend a bunch of money now that Jeets is gone?
Great.
Then what?
Then that's good for baseball.
Well, then he might have left for other reasons. Maybe he was a fan of tanking.
But doesn't it make sense that they are in a position to go make some splashes? And have they made some moves? Sure, but there's nice crop out there. And I don't think there's any way Jeets leaves if there was any inclination they were going to spend money.
So we changing our Castellanos pick? Didn't we unanimously have him going to the Marlins?
Only because we like sports. And we thought they had a 5-year plan. It was only a 4.5-year plan, it turns out.
They executed their plan, bro.
Dude, Jeets got to be pissed.
They got to the playoffs.
Should have him on.
What was their slogan in 2020? Bottom feeders?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. The shirts. They won the wild card series.
It's cool.
And then
interesting.
Then they stopped. It is interesting. If you like the Yankees, especially all-time Yankees greats, you should head to topstimeless.com because March 1st, tomorrow on OpenSea, they are auctioning off a Mickey Mantle NFT.
This is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
It's the original 1952 release that was digitally scanned and pulled from Topps digital archive, specifically to be used in this one-of-one NFT, auctioned off tomorrow on OpenSea. The winner of the auction will also have a rare opportunity to have a 30-minute interview with Mickey Mantle's sons, Danny and David Mantle. The unique NFT is the first featured collectible in the Topps Timeless series. So head to toppstimeless.com to find out more information and check it out.
Topps Timeless.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you guys want to talk about, Trev? You're into the college baseball, you're saying? You actually like it now?
I do not. And I don't know if I'm coming through. I just got an internet connection is unstable message. How am I?
You're good. You did get a little blurry on us. What, Teddy?
I'll come back. I'll come back.
Teddy watching his stories over there. Yeah, I just got kind of sad for the Marlins, who, if their young guys pan out, which is asking a little bit, they would be like one of the best rotations in the American League. You remember when we looked at rotations last year and we're like, wait, the AL is kind of thin. So that's just some casual, funny business there. Jim, I told you I'm a CCSU Blue Devils fan. I think they're a runaway favorite in the Northeast Conference this year. And I am officially a Long Beach State dirtbag. So I know Trev's a Cardinal. He always has been for life, but...
Do you want me to be honest with everyone, or kind of just play into what everyone wants to hear me say?
No, you've been honest from the start. You're a baseball snob.
I don't like it. I'm not. I see college baseball. I get it. There's like some emotion there, but to me, it's God. People are gonna hate. They're gonna hate me.
It's honest.
To me, it's just false bravado everywhere. I don't know, man. It's just when you're young, you got a lot of energy, and it's just like coming out in the baseball form. And I get why some people find that entertaining, but I just know that all these guys will go into pro ball and just get lit, like get lit up or just get smacked down, and all that stuff will go crashing down. I've just seen it so many times. And I'm not saying like you can't have emotion in baseball, but I sound like such a old POS. I'm just being honest, people. I don't really like college baseball.
I'd like them to not have metal bats.
Yes.
I can't get into home runs with metal bats at all. Like when you hear the sound, and then I'm like, well.
There's been some good play. Like I'll say that. Like I've seen more highlights now.
It's fun. I don't. There is like too much going on of like the bravado stuff. But I mean, whatever. I hate that I'm saying that, but like when you watch it, it is a little jarring. You're like, whoa, guys, like you're closer to little league than pro in your like exuberance, but they're kids. But I hate the metal bats. It makes me not appreciate like home runs when you hear the sound and like just see it. I'm like, well, just I don't know why they have to. Why whatever. The camera angles suck, and that's what I'd like to petition. You can't.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the production value isn't there.
You can't see break on balls that well because the camera angles are like low and weird for a lot of the games, which I really like watching pitching and like seeing what the ball's doing. And there's a lot of pitchers where I'm like, what is that pitch? Where in MLB you kind of can figure it out. But I was watching a game. I was trying to make a breakdown of it. It was like Bryant versus ECU. And couldn't tell what a single pitch was. Like, it was one curveball I could tell. And the rest, I was like, what is that? Like, what? Is it a fastball? Is that change? Like, it was a camera. It was a production.
I'd rather watch college softball than college baseball. And that's 100%. Like, I'm not trying to be funny about that at all. Like, I 100% would.
Hand up. Also doing the same thing.
Yeah. And I think because I'm very familiar with the game of baseball, so like it does seem gimmicky to me. I think that's the best way to describe college baseball for me. It's just gimmicky. And there's some really good players, some players that are going to have a much better career than me. I understand there's real talent in college baseball because guess what? That's where baseball players come from. Amateur ball. All of us come from that. But the way the game is played, the stuff on the wrists, and it's coaches have way too much control, and it's too gimmicky. But college softball, maybe I don't know enough about softball. It's still very entertaining to me. Like the speed of the plays happen in softball so fast, it like grabs me every time.
Yeah, college softball, you go in and you're just like, anything can happen right now.
Anything.
Did you see the triple play? It's hard to get one out in college softball if you have fast runners. I don't know how the hell the team turned a triple play. It was pretty smooth.
Yeah. Please don't hate me, guys, because I said I don't like college baseball.
I love college baseball, college softball. I just don't watch. And yeah, Trev, I guess the only thing I truly fight you on is I wish there was more technology and more coaches in the game. I think that's what the sport needs.
The waistbands with all the plays on them, like their quarterbacks. No, they wear them on their waist like a fanny pack that have like all their positioning. So they just flip it up and look at it. It pains me to see those. Like
we've gone too far.
I think Georgia Tech wears them. Some teams do. If I'm flipping through the ESPN Plus and there's a lot of college baseball games and I've been flipping through, I like the same way if I'm watching hockey or baseball and there's the Bally score bug, I'm like, nope, not watching that game. I'm a broadcast snob. Trev's just a baseball snob. I'm a broadcast snob, not watching a Bally's game. And then also I'm not watching if like every player has the quarterback playbook on their belly. It just irks me. So so here's a grumpy section of the show.
Yeah, I know. Dang it, bro.
So go watch.
Of course, Jake's, on the sidelines letting us get crushed. Everyone's like, Jimmy and Trevor suck. Jake and BBD are the best.
Sorry, the chat's mostly agreeing with us.
Yeah. It's, I'm just a CCSU Blue Devil guy.
Yeah, you are. And Long Beach State, apparently.
They recruited me. So I appreciate that, just like you at Stanford.
Jared Weaver.
The Dirtbags recruited me. So, and they have a guy that plays the organ a lot during the games. We're a pro organ in baseball show.
I bet you Long Beach State doesn't use any technology.
Just the organ, depending how you label that.
That's Oregon's classic baseball.
It kind of is classic baseball.
So, I mean, look, if you're developing guys like Cal State Fullerton and Long Beach State, I would watch, I think. Because I think it's more like the guys I know that came out of those schools really liked them.
It's huge.
Like real ball players.
If the season gets like announced tonight that there's no baseball in April, like they're pushing it, means we're just going to do another blitzball tournament. And how many people now are rooting for no baseball?
Mm.
They'd rather.
I got to be honest with you. This is probably a conversation for off the air, but I've had a lot of people approach us about this blitzball thing that's going on.
Yeah, it's doing well. People are enjoying it. Tonight, me and Jake, Team Baggage, plays game 2. The first winner's bracket game. The first game where teams are playing their second game. So tune in.
Tune in. This, like, people are going to be shocked at this next round and all the things that happen going forward.
The rule change happens tonight. I don't know if you've been looking at the chat at all, Trev, but everyone hates the speed limit, but then
wants more hitting.
Wants more hitting, but they can't figure out that one leads to the other. And they understand after the fourth game of 0-0, they're at the same level that we were after the fourth game in the warehouse, which I'm like, they're like, dude, guys, need some offense. And we're like, yo, we were saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And then the rules get changed. And from here on out, I mean, it's not like there's still pitcher's duels because pitching is still hard to hit, but 100%. It's not every game goes to extra innings and a swing out. So I'm excited for people to watch because all the players, everyone involved, kept saying, if we can just get the fans to keep watching past the first 4 games, we think they're going to love it. And they love the first 4 games.
Yeah.
So we're in a good spot.
Unfortunately, you guys planned the release dates on the exact times that I have youth baseball practices, Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m.
Yeah, have the teams watch. Show them what a ball player looks like.
Gosh, I would.
Well, we can all watch together in Arizona. The live chats are great. We've been getting people that are
I would love to
watching
be in them
as they premiere, and it's really cool.
Show the kids that Storielli stroke. Maybe a baseball
Hey,
swing too.
your stroke would play in coach pitch, bro.
Really would.
They're about to see some ugly swings.
FaceTime from Peter Moylan. Should
I feel
pick
so
up?
bad.
Yes.
I feel so bad about telling all the college kids they're gonna get blown up in pro ball, but
Just coming at you with too much bravado.
Peter Moylan, you're live on Talkin' Baseball.
That's good because I feel like that's a perfect opportunity for us to air some things out right now.
What do you got, big dog?
Nothing. I was calling today because I just don't like the mood of the current situation. All the news that's gone down today. I just feel terrible. I need you to pick me up.
Okay.
Oof.
Are you owners or players? I forget.
A bit of, I'm definitely players.
Damn.
I'm
Jimmy,
another one.
You want to pick him up?
No, you don't look to me. Look for Jake. He's the blind optimism guy. I'm the not that guy.
Wow. Okay.
They're gonna 8 p.m. tonight. They're
Wait,
gonna say
Moylan,
they extended the deadline.
Moylan, I'll pick
48
you up.
hours.
I'll pick you up real quick. You ready?
Yeah.
If they don't play baseball in April, we're running back another blitzball tournament immediately, and you'll be able to play. You weren't able to play last one. So what are you rooting for now?
Look, I still want baseball, honestly, but that's a good second place.
There you go. Now you're not hurt.
This is why I call you guys.
Yeah.
See, this is why you guys are here. Now get in the room with the players and the owners and see if you can sort that shit out.
Give us
Jeter's
15
on his
minutes.
way, bro. Don't worry.
That's what I thought. That's what I've heard a lot from you, actually.
That's Trev says Jeter should show up at the table today.
That is the greatest move for me. I mean, so much respect.
With a 2 in it. All right, Big Daddy. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Love you, bye.
That was quick, Jake. Good job. Way to be so funny.
Respect to Jeter.
That was the first time I had anti-Yankee opinions, was when they started putting the 2 in respect. I was like, I don't want to be associated with this mantra. Like, please leave me out of this. Like, I'd rather be a fan booing at Stanton than a Yankee fan wearing respect with a 2 in it. That's how like cringy I thought that was. Like, fucking come on, guys, grow up.
I think it's good.
Ugh,
Respect, bro.
I can't handle that. That's the easiest ammo ever to be like make fun of Yankee fans. Respect with a 2 in it. Grow.
I'm gonna start tweeting that out regularly.
Get out of here, dude.
No, the easiest one is like the 26 championships or whatever
Whoa,
the number is.
Trev.
That's the easiest one.
Yeah, when you have the like fans that and there are Yankee fans that actually say that.
I'm gonna tweet that out.
They're terrible. That is more embarrassing. Then there are fans that like truly do say that like it doesn't stem from nowhere. Or it sucks.
you guys both labeled the Yankees as, or I think Jake did, 4th best team in the AL East. So that's good.
Right now, they got to make a lot of moves.
They don't have a shortstop.
They don't have a roster. They don't have a bench or a shortstop right now. They got no players.
What would be a good third hashtag? Respect with the 2, 27 rings. What else? I need one more. I feel like they come in threes.
Earn your pinstripes is the other one. That
Done.
I like that one. Just means like
Anything.
earn your pinstripes. It just means like the crowd embraces you now. Like the crowd will like, you've won the crowd over like Maximus. That's basically what
You can
it means.
lose your pinstripes too, though.
Sure, for sure. Yeah. Things get lost.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
Okay. That's the
Go
episode.
Cheats, go. Let's go.
Huge day for baseball.
People forget he gave out gift baskets.
Yeah.
Respectful guy.
Respect. Oh my gosh.
Just
Go
a-
Cheats.
Just a care kit, Hope you had a good time.
Like that's a move, man. Like, wow.
Yeah. Especially when you like, I picture him like having a pile of them, and they visibly see the pile.
Oh,
and it
yes.
just gets one
Oh,
out of the pile.
But he doesn't put them together. So like he has a gift basket person. Like,
Come on.
He's
You
like-
don't think Cheats gets a little crafty? Throws a couple
I
things
think-
in there?
I think he says, I'm gonna need 3 of those this week.
Mm.
Haven't been
Never
there.
know.
Haven't been there.
That's the app.
We need you, Jeets. Show up to the meetings with some gift baskets.
He should show up. Now you just can't leave.
He should.
He should shed his suit and then turn in the street. Jake Sox street clothes across the other side, like Moonlight Graham. Just like completely new version of himself. His hair comes back.
Full jersey.
Full jersey. Oh, please, someone draw that graphic of him crossing over from suit to jersey. God, that's so good.
No jersey, just the pinstripe